too noisy.
Last name.
Cool.
But other than that, just because we're only...
I'm ready.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Glazer. Check, check. Cool. That's very cool. That's very cool. That's very cool. My man Joel. That's very cool. Hello, hello. Strong handshake. Such a strong handshake. Didn't expect it. Awesome. Thank you all for being here. Oh man, my hand was sweaty and you made it. Don't be sorry for your power. Never apologize for your power. That's awesome. So the title of this special is Life Rules. And everything behind me is every accomplishment, every memory, every idea I ever had leading up to this special. And so everything here represents something that I'm gonna share with you tonight. Like my very first kind of show busy gig here in LA was for BuzzFeed for this series called Hi Guys, where I would get ripped out of my mind and they would surprise me with a sloth, or I would eat, yeah, it was amazing. Like, you know, like they make their own hammock. How beautiful is that? I wish I could be my own hammock, you know? And another time I got really high with a monkey and we ate a sundae together and it could hold a spoon. It was insane. And for the third video, they go, Mike, we want you to get really, really high for this one, and then come take an Uber over, and then we'll tell you the rest when we did it. So I ate a 100 milligram edible. I took 2 dabs. I remember I took 3 bong rips, and then I had a joint behind my ear to chill in the parking lot. I was like ready. I was here. You know, let's play the game. And I get there, and they immediately put this blindfold on me, and they put me in the back of a car. And I was like, okay, I gotta come up with some life rules because this is not okay. This is not okay. And so I'm high and I'm like, okay, I need to learn what boundaries are. I need to, like, you know, maybe negotiate a higher rate. What do we gotta do? And then we park and I'm blindfolded and I'm ripped. And they get me out of the car, and I'm a little nervous. Hands are sweaty, and did anyone just think mom's spaghetti? Yeah, I bet you did. I bet you did. I bet you did. And they walk me into this room, and I'm like, I gotta figure out my life. This isn't okay. I need some like rules, and let's go. And all of a sudden, I stand there, and the room is incredibly quiet. And they go, Mike, take off your blindfold. And I take it off, and my eyes adjust, and it's Snoop Dogg. And I'm like, oh, no, life rules. Like, life fucking rules. Oh, I love life. Oh, I just have to say yes for the rest of forever. And so I smoked with Snoop, and it was so fun because weed is so important to my life. I love weed so much. It makes me the best me I can be. It fills me up. It helps me chill. I can be around people. My favorite thing to do is to sit in my apartment and take dabs until I can just hear my body making pee. Like, that's all I want. It's all I want. I just want to be like, where is that drip sound coming from? And then I'm like, what? And then it goes, I'm like, oh! I was so high, and I went to the bathroom in my apartment, and I'm washing my hands in the sink, and I was like, oh, could I be a sink? Which is the highest thought I've ever had in my life. And then I just looked in the bathroom mirror, and I went, and I was like, whoa! Cool. Learned something new with my cheek. Can anyone here do that? No. Anyone? Kyle, you're trying? Kyle, wait, we were talking earlier. Hit him with it. You might be on an album, dude. You cool with that? My man. Awesome, Kyle.
Yours is better.
No, okay, no. I was just trying to connect. I need friends. I need friends. Yeah. Stupid. Ooh. I'm Jewish, so everything I eat turns into diarrhea. Everything. It's crazy. Yeah. Are you Jewish too? Yeah. Like I don't ever remember eating that much diarrhea, but apparently I do. Like my tradition before a show is to make an egg sandwich. Yeah, that's my superstition to get in the zone. And every egg sandwich is the same. It's a runny yolk, no doubt. Best way to make an egg. Crispy edges. Yep, no doubt. Put some cheddar cheese on top, melt it under the broiler. A little bit of arugula for a peppery snap. Yo, okay, let's see. What kind of bread we thinking it is? Did you say sourdough? Yeah, sorry, you're not my friend. You're my friend. Yes, sourdough. 1,000,000% sourdough. I did that. I ran this set last night. Someone said ciabatta and we jumped them. Like it was that is not okay. Sourdough. My people. My people. I need friends. Like I want a dog so bad. I'm looking, man. I'm looking. Like I want one so bad that I went dog shopping, and it didn't go well. I wanted to find a dog that vibed with me, so I took a lot of mushrooms. My thought was like, oh my gosh, mushrooms are the love drug. They fill you with love. Dogs are made of love. I will feel rainbows. They are made of rainbows. We will meet in the middle and be soulmates forever. That was my goal. That did not happen. I have a small apartment, so I can only get a small dog. And, okay, so it's a studio apartment. But it's also like a German-style studio apartment, if y'all know what that is. It's like a German-style, so you know what a German-style studio. So it's like the kitchen and the living room is one area, and then there's a walk-in oven. And it's like a really... It's a good place. It's a good place. Thank you. Free gas, right? Like, let's go. Oh. It's a good deal. Mine landlord. So I can only have a small dog in this German-style apartment, and I'm tripping really hard, and the only small dog there is this Chihuahua. No. Are you out of your mind? It was shaking like it owes everyone money. It was a nightmare. I went up to it to say hi, and it was like, I'll get it to you tomorrow. And I was like, ah! And then he barked and his eye popped out, and I dipped. I threw like $6 there. I was like, it can't be much. You're a dog. That'll cover it. Whoever you owe, you need to put your oxygen mask on first, homie. Before you help me, you got to help yourself. You better service animal yourself, dog. So I'm still looking. I don't know. I want to. Let's turn up. Let's do that. Okay. Yeah, we're in it now. Cheers, everyone. Thank you for being here. Oh, man, that's good. Fucking whiskey. I call it whiskey. Me, because it helps me be around all of you when I'm not up here. And I don't mean that in like a weird way. I mean that in like my brain is such that if I'm not drinking whiskey at night to hang out at a party or in a crowd, everything I'm thinking is calculated because I don't know what to say and I want you to like me, so I'm saying what I think you want me to say. And why'd you move your hand like that? Do you not like me? Oh, okay. I'm probably talking to you for too long. Stupid. So, whiskey. But I have like a love-hate relationship with it. One, because I would like to be myself at all times, and that's a struggle. And two, because it either helps me get out of a jam or it gets me into an even worse jam. Like when I was 16 years old, that was the first time I had whiskey. Bottle of Jack Daniels to the dome, just bottled it. And I blacked out with a burrito on my chest. Beans down my face, rice everywhere. still in Chipotle. Like, it sucked. It sucked. And then this guy comes from behind the counter and he's like, Glazer, it's lunch rush. So then I got to clock in. And so like the whole thing was such a bummer. It was such a bummer. Beep, boop, 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 boop. And like, so anyway, I can get any of you backstage at Chipotle. Cool, I guess, whatever. Or I could before they fired me for that. So that was a bummer. I needed that job. But other times whiskey has like saved me and it's come through in a real praiseworthy way. I was at my favorite bar not too far from here, and I was browned out on whiskey, so I could remember my choices, but I couldn't stop them. You know, like I was caught in the spirit, and the spirit was leading me. And I was vibing with this girl, kinda, but not really, but kinda. And she was like, let's go back to my place. And I said, sure, whatever. And the makeout didn't feel right. Nothing felt, like our faces were two Pac-Mans just like hitting each other. The kissing hurt. The kissing hurt. We kept each hitting each other's teeth. And she also had Invisalign in, so it was like a weird bounce. Have you ever kissed someone and it bounces, your tongue bounces like it just bounced. It was bad. It was bad. And she was like, oh my God, I just like, let's go back to my bedroom. And I was like, in my head, I was like, I don't really want to do that, but I'm a people pleaser. And so I was like, let's go, you know, like, yeah, whatever you want, just like me. And so we go back into her room, and the closer we get to having sex, the more I don't want to do it. And then whiskey came to my rescue. You know what I mean, right? Yeah, dude. Yeah. Whiskey was like, nah. My blood hiccuped, y'all. Like, my blood hiccuped. I was like, get up here. It goes, nah, I can't get up there. When I don't drink, it works. It works. It works. It works. Like when I don't drink, it'll rush to the front of the stage like a Travis Scott concert. So don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. Yeah. I'm doing this special with a lot of people, but I'm still going to make as much money as I can off of it. So after this, I will be selling merch, hands down. Yeah, well, and it's my special, so let's call it It's Molly, and it's good merch. So you let me know how much Molly you want. You want some merch? Maybe? Get some merch. I'll get you. It's good merch. Some of you have tried it. It's good merch. My man, yeah, it's good merch. Let me know. Yeah, just come up to me and be like, forgiveness pill, and I will help you. Because that's what Molly is, forgiveness, man. It is. My best pitch I can tell anyone listening to this or watching this about why to try Molly is I went to this festival in Vegas called Life is Beautiful. You know it? Oh my God, it was beautiful, man. It was beautiful. And I was on like a lot of merch, like a lot. Like a S-tier amount of merch. And I'm listening to this band called Jungle, and it was so good. And all of a sudden, I like just let go and danced so hard that I forgave my dad. And it was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. I was like, oh my God, he did the best he could. Like, oh, some of that's my fault. A little of that is my fault. He's right, I should call him. So let me know. It's good. It's tricky with my dad too. I mean, like, what I've learned recently is that everyone is always doing the best they can, and sometimes that is very hard to accept. Very, like, my dad, he does the best he can, man, but sometimes old boy be messing up, man. I don't know. Like when I was 14, he caught me smoking Marlboro Reds around the corner of the house. And he did that dad thing where he was like, I'm going to make you smoke the whole pack of Marlboro Reds. And so I smoked a whole pack at 14 in front of him. And I'm getting sick. I'm puking. And he's like, yeah, now you're never going to smoke. And I don't smoke. Cool, I guess. But now I feel obligated to pass on that generational trauma. Right? Because if I ever have a kid and I catch them vaping, I'm gonna make them eat the whole machine. I don't even care. Every gear. Finish your batteries. You know what I mean? It's for your own good. And then at 18, I was still living at home. Maybe it's my fault. I don't know. But at 18, he threw open my bedroom door and caught me jacking off. Maybe I should have locked it. Maybe he should have knocked. Either way, he threw open the door, and I had in my hand, and I was like, huh! And he goes, huh! And then he said, careful! Which... What an insane thing to yell. If that doesn't mess up your sex brain the rest of your life, man. Careful! Oh. And then he said this dad thing that I have never heard, and I haven't heard since, but maybe you've heard it. I'm holding it in my hand, and he goes, careful! You'll get hairy palms! And I go, that would feel amazing! How good would that feel? When can I have that? Then I wouldn't need a dog. Cool. Oh, shit. The most comfort I feel in life is eating so much food that I lay in the fetal position. It is my absolute safe place. Top sleep position. I love the fetal. Number one way to lay. And even growing up, that's what I was a real unhealthy eater growing up in St. Louis, Missouri. I would only eat, I would put salt next to the sink to add to the tap water so that it would taste good. And I would eat 3 frozen pizzas a day. And that was like my diet for a very long time. Can anyone know what type of frozen pizza it was? Did you say DiGiorno? You said DiGiorno? Oh no, I didn't have DiGiorno money. No, that is a top 3 pizza pie. That's elite. There's different kinds of crusts. Even with a coupon, it's over $10. Like, that's an elite pie. Mama Celeste? Red Baron. Thank you, Red Baron. My man. Somebody here had a Hot Pocket household. It was absolutely Red Baron. So much crust. Oh. Yeah. And so growing up, I would just eat 3 Red Baron pizzas a day. And then as I got older, my tastes evolved a bit, and I started making moves where I would set the oven to 400, put the Red Baron in, and then keep a thing of Ben & Jerry's on top of the oven so that it would melt in time with the pizza, and then I could eat the pizza and drink the Ben & Jerry's. Yeah, maybe he does smoke weed. Like, yeah, for sure. That is genius, right? I know we all smoke weed in here, and a lot of you are going to try it when we go home. It's a nice treat. Some of you have Newman's Own money in here, too, so I know you're going to do it. I know you're going to do it with some fish food and a Newman's Own. So my diet and my cooking has been awful my whole life. And it got so bad that I ended up on this TV show called Worst Cooks in America on Food Network. Yeah, Worst Cooks. And at that time, to get on the show, they said, well, like, Mike, like, how bad is your diet? And this is what I truly said to them in the video interview. I was like, I grocery shop like I'm on Chopped. And I was like, my favorite thing to do is go to the grocery store and just go down every aisle and be like, polenta? Bet. trail mix? Why not? Fish? We'll figure it out. Let's go, man. I don't know. And they're like, what do you do with that? And I was like, I have no idea. And they're like, you're on the show. And I got... and I got on there, and I got third place. Oh, thanks. And I used the money I won from that to go to culinary school in Pasadena at New School of Cooking. And it changed my life. So now, when I was interviewed to do this Thanksgiving thing, and they're like, how's your cooking now? And I was like, yo, you know that polenta trail mix fish thing? They're like, we do. We remember that. And I was like, well, now I would take that polenta and I would add half a stick of butter and some grated Parmesan cheese, and I would stir that up, and then I would take the trail mix and I would blitz it, and then I would crust the fish with it, and then I would pan fry that, maybe do a little bit of a butter baste, and then I would take that, lay it over the top with a glug of really good olive oil, and then I'd take that crusted fish, put it on top, a little bit of cilantro. So that's where I'm at. Thank you. Did not get booked. Also good. I don't want to be the worst. I want to win. Winning rules. It's everything to me. I love to win. But then I get caught up in my feelings, and I get caught up in congratulating myself. And next thing you know, it's 1 a.m. and I'm butter basting a ribeye with a joint in my mouth, drinking a thing of wine and listening to a podcast. And I'm 50 pounds heavier than I ever wanted to be. I gained a hot, juicy 50 last year and did not recognize myself. But I was also eating so well that I couldn't stop. This is when I knew I needed to stop. I was chop shopping at the Trader Joe's, playing my little games in my mind. I had a big beard, long hair, and I was a juicy boy. And this guy thinks he recognizes me, but I can hear in his voice that he's not sure. And he goes, Glazer? And it startled me, and I turned so fast that my stomach caught up to me. And I don't know if that's ever happened to anyone here, but he goes, Glazer? And I go, what? And my stomach goes, wait for me. Whoa, 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 whoa. And it like went all the way back and snapped forward like Looney Tunes. And I got caught up in my feels so bad, and I started like welling up, and we're talking, and a guy came by and thought like this guy was making me cry, and it got weird. He's like, yeah, COVID, a lot of breakups. Weird to do it in front of the apples, kind of a top fruit. I would do it near a lesser fruit, so we don't need to go around this, but if you'll excuse me, Cosmic Crisp, #1 apple, I'm gonna need 2 of those and then keep doing that. And so I joined Weight Watchers, and shout out Team Blue, man. Shout out Team Blue. I loved it. I lost that 50. I lost a bit more. I learned how to cook healthy instead of indulgent, which is good, but also bad, because now the fish that I eat instead of like salmon or a swordfish is tilapia, and that's a bummer, man. I hate that fish. That's a bad fish. You don't mess with tilapia either, right? It's terrible. It's like flaky, and it's sensitive, and it's like the Michael Cera of the sea. It's a bummer fish. It's such a bummer fish, man. It's a little bitch ass fish. I tried to put it on the grill and it goes, ha! And I was like, oh, I don't want you in my body. Sarah-ass fish. But now, like, I'm figuring it out. It's not even about the weight. It's not about 50 this, 60 that, 40 here, 30 there. It's about t-shirt confidence. All I want in life is t-shirt confidence. It's everything to me. It feels so good to be able to wear a t-shirt and not like hold it out so your stomach isn't touching it, or walk into the wind. Whew. I don't know how many of you know what it's like. Yeah. It feels uncomfortable if you don't like your body and you walk into the wind. That's a real trick. But I have it now, and it's really good. Well, that's not true. One time I didn't have it. I was in Chicago, and I moved to LA from Chicago, and all my friends were at Lake Michigan, and we were all hanging out, and I had t-shirt confidence. I was feeling good, and they were all playing in the water, and they were like, Glazer, get in the water, quit reading Far Side. And it's so thin, I was really indulging. They knew I wasn't really reading it because it's just pictures. And I was like, no, man, like, this is what you worked for. Get in the water, play with your friends, take off your shirt, have a good time. Nobody cares. Nobody's looking at you and nobody cares. Get in the water and live your life. And so I gear up the courage and I get to the edge of the water. And as I'm about to take off my shirt, I hear and then see this 6'4" hulking man come running towards the water in a Speedo. And he's ripped out of his mind and tan and a hunk, and he slides into the waves to talk to this chick and sprays me with sand and water. He had muscles up, you know, the muscles up here by your neck? You know that where it looks like you're wearing an airplane pillow all the time? I don't like it. I don't like it. He had parted hair, brown parted hair, like a Christian we will not trust. And he's ripped, and he's standing in the water, and he's standing wide talking to this chick, and every time he interrupts her, he gets a little wider, like he's gaining strength. And I don't like how alpha he is. It's very uncomfortable, and I'm standing next to him, and I feel really small, and I was like, oh man, like, this sucks, whatever. And then I like look at her, and she's vibing with him. I'm like, yeah, of course. And then I look at him, and the waves are basically saying, excuse me, as they go around him. And I notice in the middle of his stomach, though, after that six-pack rip, that is an Audi belly button. And that's disgusting. That's so gross. No wonder you have a fence around your neck. You're disgusting. I would fix it. I'm just saying, you should fix it. How much plastic surgery does it take? $20 probably. For some guy to untie you, poke you back in, and tie you back up, that's gotta be a 20. Maybe 40 because he double knots you. It can't be much. That way you don't loosen like a balloon and zoom around, but it's not much to fix that. And then I felt bad for her, because they were gonna go home together and hook up, but there's no way they're gonna have good sex with his Audi and her innie. Ew, dude. He's gonna hunch over on top of her with his weird bulldog arms and go missionary, and his Audi is gonna slide in her innie, and it's gonna be just going like that the whole time. Oh, you like that? You like that? No, I don't. Yeah! I don't care. And then that poor girl's gonna fake her orgasm like, oh my God, yes, God, good, yeah. It's gonna be all sweaty. Her innie's gonna pool with sweat. It's gonna go around his Audi. Boop, 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 that whole time. And then when he comes inside of her and he pops out and it goes like, and that's gonna be the worst day of her life. So I just took off my shirt. I was like, yo, man, fuck this shit. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, we'll do a real one. I had a mental breakdown last year. That's real. Are you cheering for me still being here? Or are you cheering because it's relatable? Or are you cheering because you've had one? All of which are appropriate. All of them? Yeah. Life is hard. Life is hard. I passed out or came to, I'm not sure because I lost so much track of time, but I kind of came to in my bathtub, and my burners were on, my sink was on, my shower was on, my door was wide open, and I don't know what happened. And it really scared me a lot. And so I started therapy. And shout out Peter Tuesdays at noon, dude. That dude's rocks. Shout out Peter, Tuesdays at noon, over Zoom, the homie. Now my apartment doesn't feel like a safe place at all. It's really crazy because we'll be talking about things and I'm like, oh man, like I'm in my apartment doing this. Oh, and I should also say that I can hear my neighbors having sex all the time. Like through the wall, I can hear them having sex all the time. And it's gotta be OnlyFans sex because it's so loud and it's so wrong. And he's like, you like that? And she's like, I love that. And I was like, I know that they don't have good sex. He has Audi energy. There's no way. There's no way. It's gotta be OnlyFans. It's gotta be. And so, but if I can hear them having sex, then they can hear me talking about my mom, right? Like, there's no way, man. That's the yin and yang of the game. Like, that's just how that goes. And so I was talking to Peter Tuesdays at noon, and it was in January, and I was like, man, Peter, I'm gonna go on tour, but I'm actually scared to go on tour. I don't know if I want to tour. Our country is in shambles. I don't know how people are gonna react. I don't know if anyone's happy, sad. Like, what is it gonna look like to tour again? And Peter goes, yeah. I know you're scared to tour and do comedy, but Mike, I want to know, why do you do comedy? And I go, dude, can I pay you double? That is such a good question. That's such a good question. No wonder you're doing this, man. That's sick. That's awesome, man. Good question. Oh, and I should also tell you all that at the same time that I did this, I bought a gun because I was like, one of these is gonna work. And so you know what I mean, right? Because like, yeah, whatever. And, well, 2 nights ago, I got home and I think somebody used my gun. I don't know. I think someone used my gun because like the barrel tasted weird. So, I don't know. And so I was like, okay, Peter, like, why do I do comedy? And we were talking about my childhood that day. So I was like, okay, that's a good place to start. Let's start there, work our way up to today. So I told Peter, I was like, I think I do comedy because my mom had a really messed up childhood, and there was no escape from it for her, and she didn't have access to mental health resources like we have today. And so I think she moved out very young and then had me as a way to kind of save her from herself. Because in my life growing up, if I was making my mom laugh, our family was so awesome. It was so much fun. I would be up there and I'd be like, and I would do a little dance and she'd be like, ha ha, I love you, Michael. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, I love you, Mom. But if I wasn't making her laugh, it was a lot of chaos in my family. It was a whirlwind of chaos. It was just like really, really hard. So I had to make her laugh all the time so that our family would stay together. At least that's how I felt. And now I'm learning from you, Peter Tuesdays at noon, that what she was giving me wasn't love. I was giving her love. I was giving her what she needed, and she was giving me validation. That's all she was giving me, because I'd be like, and she's like, I love you, but really it was just a little biscuit. Like, it was like a little biscuit. And now all I need is validation, and I'm a bottomless pit of validation because that's all that was imprinted on me from a very young age is validation. And I'm a bottomless pit of it, and there is no escape from it, and it's just all the time. But that also explains why I love weed, and that explains why I like go home with people and it's like, nah. And it's like, it explains why I have really good merch, so do let me know. And so I'm just all validation all the time. And the really hard thing about that is that I don't know if I've ever actually felt love because I don't know how to feel it. And I don't know if I've ever given love, which is worse, because I have wonderful people in my life that I would love to show love to if I knew how. And I just don't, but I'm trying to, and I'm trying to move from validation into love. And it's a struggle, but I'm doing my best. So Peter, I got to tell you, man, I think that all of that is why I do stand-up comedy. Well, that's awesome. Thanks. Because then my neighbor goes, oh, nice! And I was like, oh! Oh! Bop, bop, bop! I was like, thank you, dude. He's like, no, man, you've been putting in the work. And I was just like, What is your OnlyFans? Through the wall validation, I was like, yo, that's a wrap. I closed that lid. Oh my God, he's here. Yes, it's so good. So, and like, but that's true, right? Like, that's why life rules. It's because of moments like that. Thank you all for being here. I'm Mike Glazer. Good night. Thank you.